Inside this video, we're going to break down the simple 4-step system that any coach can use to go from 0 to 10k a month inside their coaching business, whether they're a brand new coach coming onto the market or they're simply a coach that has been sitting below 10k for a very long time. Let's simplify the process inside this video. Now, if you're new here, I'm Shoney, and for the last 8.5 years, I've helped thousands of coaches online grow consistently to 6, multi-6 and 7 figures through repeatable, profitable and scalable systems that are bespoke just to them with fully customized game plans covering everything from ads, funnels, social media and everything in between that they can use to generate clients consistently for their coaching business. The amount of coaches that we've taken from complete standing start to over 10k a month in the space of around 90 days is absolutely staggering across the last 8.5 years. However, we've taken so many coaches to multi-6, deep multi-6 and 7+ figures inside their coaching business also. And that's why I'll probably make this into some sort of a mini series where we'll go 0 to 10, 10 to 25, 25 to 50, and maybe so on and so forth from there as well. So if you're a coach who's looking to grow your coaching business and you want the simplest way to build those repeatable systems for yourself, I share 4 strategies on this channel every single week. So hit subscribe, hit the like button on this video so you can help the YouTube algorithm, as it were, and comment down below if you're just a really, really great person and we'd have fun together on a night out. Now, step 1 of 4 in getting to 10k a month inside your coaching business, really simple: audience plus know, like and trust. You, number 1, need an audience there that you can actively sell to. Now, many coaches get really into a rut with this because they think that they need tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of followers before they can actually sell meaningfully. However, it's completely not found in evidence. I've had tons of coaches come to me who have had brand new social media accounts or indeed below 500 followers, and they've hit 10k using the systems that we're going to go through inside this video. But you need those people there who are not just bots. They're not people who you have paid to become followers, and they're not people that you've done follow, unfollow to try and, tweak the algorithm and try and get attention from people that may not even actually be interested and may just be using the law of reciprocity to follow you back. So put simply, you actually need some people there that actually want to learn from you, they're problem aware, and they're seeking out a solution, that solution being the one that you're going to solve through your product. So what are some simple things that you can do to grow your audience so that we can capture number 1 here and we can build that know, like and trust simultaneously? Number 1 is to actually share content frequently. Okay, great content frequently. Most coaches think that they need to be some sort of influencer to be able to go, inverted commas, viral and to be able to be discovered by brand new people. However, I'm going to challenge every single coach here to go into their last 5 posts on Instagram and go into the insights. And what you're going to realize is that even though you say, my post was only seen by 212 people, guess what? There's going to be 10, 20, 30% of those people are people who are non-followers, okay? So if the content is meaningful and engaging, that it has to actually be engaging, then that post is going to be seen by other people. You might not think that it's inverted commas gone viral, but if it's getting seen by 32 people who are not your followers right now, these are opportunities to grow your audience. So every single time you post, you have a new opportunity to get new followers. And so if you really want to put the foot on the gas with this, then share content more frequently. Share content twice a day, share content 3 times per day. This is the type of thing that you need to do at the start here to create this audience, to build it up, build that know, like and trust. It's not a forever thing. You don't necessarily have to do 2 or 3 posts per day, but if you're looking for the fastest route to 10k a month and you want to build up that audience and build that know, like and trust, create great content and share it frequently on at least 1 platform. Number 2 here for audience would be to collaborate with other coaches, other people who have the audience that you want to get in front of. The really interesting thing with collaborations is that if you collaborate with another coach who has the audience that you want to get in front of, not only do you get discovered by all of those people, but on top of that, you also almost like borrow the know, like and trust that they have worked upon for years with those people who are following them. It's almost like, okay, if they're associated together and I trust this person, then I now slightly trust this person over here as well. And collaborations come in many different formats. If you've got a podcast, you can of course do interviews. If you don't have a podcast, why not invite another coach onto an Instagram live so that their audience gets a notification when they come on and join you in that conversation. You can also do it in other ways, like you can ask them if they want to collaborate on a carousel on Instagram, and you can invite as collaborator and it'll go on both of your profiles. You can also do it on stories. You can talk about other coaches in a meaningful and productive way, and you can put that in your stories and you can tag them. Guess what? If you say something that's really meaningful about that coach, they're going to share that into their stories also, and guess what? You're going to get discovered by their followers as well. Now, there's 1,000,001 different things that you can do on top of this to further grow your audience. We'll probably do it in another video, but there's also more to come in this 4-step system, which also helps you grow your audience as well. So take that away. Audience plus know, like, and trust needs to happen. It doesn't need to be in the thousands, but you need a few hundred people there who are hanging on your every word so that you can meaningfully sell to them in the following steps. Step number 2 of 4 here is the product or the offer. You can sort of say that they're not exactly the same thing, but they're very, very closely related. Okay, so what is the product actually going to be first and foremost? The product that you're going to create here needs to solve one problem. I've had coaches who are absolutely incredible. They're amazing at marketing as well. They're amazing at growing an audience. But the reason why they don't sell their product is because they're trying to solve 3 different issues with one single product. And when somebody sees this as 3 different issues, guess what happens? There's a very, very small amount of the population who are going, I want to solve all 3 of these. It's like going to a Chinese restaurant and saying, I want sweet and sour chicken. And they go, well, if you want sweet and sour chicken, it comes as 3 dishes. You have to also get chicken chow mein, and you also have to get egg fried rice. And you go, but I only want the sweet and sour chicken. And they go, no, you have to take all 3. So you feel like you're paying for things that you aren't going to use. That's why people won't sign up to it. So when you are not focused on solving a singular problem, you end up with a lot of people looking at your product as, hey, this is something that I really, really want. I really want that piece of the puzzle, but I don't want any of the other stuff. And so what am I going to pay this big premium for if I'm only going to use a small percentage of it? So you need to get crystal clear on the problem that you want to solve and create a product that solves that specific problem. But we're going to take it one step further as well and ask, is it what they want or is it what they need? Now, sometimes these can be aligned, but very often they're not. And there's many things that your target demographic are looking for, and many times it's not the thing that they are actually being sold. Okay, because you might be hyper aware of what's most meaningful to the people that you've worked with. For instance, let's say you're a fitness coach and you help people lose weight. And when you've taken people through a 90-day transformation, they say to you, I know that I've lost all this weight and I know that we achieved the result we were looking for, but you know what? The thing that's been most important to me or the most meaningful to me is my confidence and how I have been able to walk into a room a completely different person and wear clothes that I never would have worn otherwise and actually look forward to my summer holiday for the first time ever. Many coaches get into the wrong position here. They listen to that and they say, so what people are looking for is confidence. And so what I'm going to create here is a confidence accelerator, or they have a weight loss product that's called something like the confidence something else, right? So everything is built around confidence. But the thing is, your target demographic very often in that position don't realize that what they're looking for is confidence until they actually experience it. They're getting out of bed and thinking, I want to lose weight. So you need to really ask yourself, what is it that your target demographic are actually looking for? What is their silver bullet? What is the thing that they think is going to solve the problem for them today? It is completely fine on the other side of signing them up to help them get that confidence or whatever it is that they actually need. But you need your product to be something that they actively want. You do not want to be out there in the marketplace convincing people of the problem that they have so that you can then convince them of the product that can solve it. You want people who are already problem aware so that you can rock up with the solution and have the easiest sales of all time. Now, if you want to get to 10K per month with that product in the fastest time possible, then you're looking for a product that is usually one-to-one. It can be group program, but it needs to be some sort of premium price program. You don't want to have to sell 112 units to get to 10K a month, right? It's totally fine if your goal in the long term is to create a group program, have it super scalable, be super hands off with it. That's absolutely fine, but it's actually a great stepping stone towards that to have a much more premium product. You get the experience of coaching people in such a meaningful way to amazing results. You get even better results that you can use and showcase as proof of what you're capable of. And on top of that, you also get the market to learn that you're a premium priced coach, which means that if you do want to go into group coaching in the future, you have a million times easier job of actually transitioning and launching a group program, because so many people in the market are aware that you're a premium one-to-one coach. So it feels even more opportunistic that you have a more affordable way of working with you in the future. It's very difficult to do it the other way around. So focus on the premium product first. You can take this a step further and we can say that that should probably be somewhere. It is different in different marketplaces, but if you are in general pop, for instance, let's say the fitness coach, somewhere in the region of 500 to 1500 is going to be a great starting point. Okay, so something like that is usually within affordability to a chunk of the market, but it's also a meaningful amount of money in which you don't have to sell a ton of volume to hit your target of 10k per month. If you go much higher than this, then sure, you need even less volume to come through. However, you can end up in a position where you have a lot of people in the marketplace looking at you as a very top-end coach in terms of the price point, but maybe it's not backed up yet because you're a relatively new coach and you don't have years and years and years of before and afters or wins and things of that nature. And so until you're in that position and you've had that volume of people come through and get incredible transformations, then 500 to 1500 is a great price point for you to work from. If you're in the more business to business space, this can be a little bit more expensive because the type of people that you're selling to are usually, number one, more in that affordability bracket. And second of all, they're also expecting it to be in that type of bracket as well. So it depends on the niche that you're in and who you want to sell to, and also what that product actually looks like as well. And the final thing I'm going to say about product here is 90 days is a really, really common number that you hear for a one-to-one product. Now, 90 days, there's a reason why it is so popular, and many people don't know why that is. And so they adjust it to, 8 weeks, or they adjust it to 6 months, or they adjust it to a year. The reason why 90 days is so effective for an offer in the coaching space is because most people believe that 90 days is a long enough time period in which they can get an incredible result, right? So not just a result, an incredible result. 90 days is enough time to do so, while simultaneously being a short enough time frame that they believe they can hold themselves accountable and see it through till the end. Okay, so they might not look at a 6-month program as something that they feel with certainty that they'll get to the end of, and therefore the risk isn't you, the risk is themselves. 90 days is a great thing to get people in at the most premium price point that you can. So look at 90 days as not essential, but it's a really, really great way to position this premium price product and get people over the line. Step 3 here is the launch plan. And this is a 3-week launch plan that I'm going to share with you briefly. Now, I would say that you can do this in 3 steps. You can maybe even consolidate it a little bit if you want to make this a week and a half or a 2-week plan. But I usually like to make this a 3-week plan, 3 weeks of sales opportunity. And what I like to call it is a staggered launch approach. Now, I learned a staggered launch approach when I was in my first ever business. I think it's now 11, 12 years ago. 13 years ago, I'm not sure, something along those lines. Anyway, I was in my first ever proper business and I had hundreds of thousands of pounds of debt that I found myself in. I'd signed my life away for the sake of this business that I was very, very passionate about. However, I thought that everybody was just going to want to buy the thing that was in my head. And it wasn't the case, but I made an even bigger fluff of it by doing the polar opposite of what I'm going to describe to you here, which is anything but a staggered launch approach. The way that I launched tickets for my live event back then was I used to have every single thing ready to go all at the same time. Okay, so I used to just blurt out that early bird tickets were now available. And at the exact same time, 8 p.m. at night, for instance, I would post on Facebook, I would post on Instagram, I'd post on LinkedIn, I would send out the email, any communication channel I had, I would just throw it out there and blurt it out. And guess what happened? We got a spike in sales, and then it completely died off. If that person was not there immediately when the email hit or the social media post went out, then all of that urgency was lost. And so we needed to sell thousands of tickets to make this a successful event, and we did not have thousands of people that were available to us through our social media channels and emails for the brand new business that we were in. And so albeit that it might look good to some people, the sales that we got by announcing it, it was nowhere near what it could have been, and it was nowhere near what it was in future years when we started to use the staggered launch approach. Now, the staggered launch approach, this can again be used for a brand new coach, but it can also be used for a coach who's at 7K a month inside their coaching business and really wants to make next month the biggest month inside their coaching business ever. And it's quite simple. You don't go and say, this is available, and shout it out absolutely everywhere. You give people pockets of opportunity to get ahead of everybody else and create urgency at every single step. With this 3-week launch period, we have 3 steps. Number 1 is to run an immersive experience. At this step, we've already been sharing content and building up an audience, and let's say you've got 300 followers, okay? I'm not going to say 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 10,000. Let's say you've got 300 followers. Well, you can message every single one of them individually and let them know that you've got this amazing immersive experience coming up at the end of the week or starting next week, for instance. It's high value, there's tons of reasons that they should be there, it's going to be outcome driven, and it's completely for free. This can be a live masterclass, it can be a 5-day challenge, it can be anything that is immersive and free that is outcome driven for your target demographic. And so let's say it's a 5-day challenge, and let's say of the 300 people who are following you who have not been bought and they're real followers that actually hang on your every word, you might get, let's say, anywhere between 30 and 90 people sign up completely for free into your free challenge. This is your opportunity to move them from what is already know, like, and trust and take them to a whole new level and convert them into clients on the other side. So the first part of this 3-step launch plan here, or staggered launch approach, is to run an immersive experience. It can be a live masterclass, a 5-day challenge, something that's free that allows you to be live, to take them through a meaningful experience, to build that know, like, and trust to a whole new level outside of what is possible with social media posts. And from there, give them a unique opportunity to get this offer before the public. You're going to make crystal clear that not only is there 50 people inside this group, for an example, and that you only have 5 spaces available, but you're also going to make crystal clear that you're going to be launching any last spaces that may be available next week to the public, but you're going to give them a unique opportunity to not just skip the queue, but maybe even get some things that the public can't even get access to. You're making it super special, and you're selling in private. Now, the interesting thing here is I've taken people through this sequence here many times, and it's happened probably about 30% of the time here where this sells out of the offer completely. Just using this immersive experience and transitioning people into clients on the other side, using this really well positioned offer of how great an opportunity it is, the fact that if they don't take action here, all the spaces will be taken by the general pop, and they even have the opportunity to get something that nobody outside of this group can get their hands on. It works so well to get those people over the line. Let's say you have 8 spaces available to hit that 10K a month inside your coaching business at the price point of the product that you're selling. You might sell all 8 in this immersive experience. Okay, so that's step number 1. And let's say, for instance, you had 8 spaces available and you sell 4. Well, you're already halfway there towards your goal. And then we go into step 2. And step 2 is selling in private. So we've just done an immersive experience with, let's say, 50 people. Let's say you've got 300 followers and 50 of them ended up in this live immersive experience and they had the pitch sent to them. Guess what? Before we go public and say, hey, we've got this amazing opportunity and we do a public super spike offer, if you've been following me for any length of time, you'll know about our super spike offers. We've got 9 different variations, around 60, 65 different variations within those categories of super spike offer. But essentially, it's taking something that is your core product and it's repositioning it into a one-time opportunity. If you're an active coach, that's exactly what you'll do. If you're a brand new coach, you'll position this as some sort of a beta test or case study or something along those lines. But before you put anything out there publicly, you will do a selling in private step. And that means, let's say 50 people were inside the challenge, 250 people are following you, you will go to those 250 people privately and give them an opportunity to skip the queue. However, you may choose not to go to all 250, but instead only go to people that you've had conversations with, even if those conversations were very mild. As long as they were on topic about the very thing that you help people do, like if you're a weight loss coach and you were asking them about their weight loss goals, or they were asking you questions about training or nutrition or whatever it may be, you might have, let's say, 20 people there. That 20 people or 20 people that you can go to with a really dynamite script like we have as a pre-sale script, and you can go to them and you can share exactly how they can get their hands on this before the public. You see the staggered launch approach here. What we're doing is we're creating pockets of opportunity for people to take action, but we're bringing in authentic urgency to take that action. So instead of saying you need to be fast and having people sort of step back and go, hey, you reached out to me, what are you piling on the urgency for? You can be very authentic and just say, hey, I'm reaching out to you because I've got this amazing opportunity. This is what it is. This is why it's special. And I'm reaching out to you because we had that conversation a couple of weeks ago. I thought of you. I thought it would be a perfect fit. And I wanted to come to you before I post it out publicly on Monday. You haven't had to say you need to act quick. You haven't had to pile on the urgency. You've indirectly brought urgency to the table by saying this is going out on Monday. And second of all, you've brought relevancy to the conversation, and it hasn't come across as salesy because you've brought relevancy to the fact that 2 weeks ago you had that conversation, and that's why you're opening it up with them and offering it to them before anybody else. And so let's say that you did have 20 people there that you were sending this out to. Again, you might sell all 8 spaces through this strategy, but you've got 4 spaces left in the scenario we're talking about, and let's say that you sold 2. Okay, so you've now sold the other 2. We've got to 6, and we've got 2 remaining. And that brings me to step number 3 of the staggered launch approach, which is to publicly launch your offer. And that's when, just like you've been telling people, you post out on Monday that you've got this amazing opportunity. You actually had 8 spaces, but 6 spaces have been taken in the last 7 days, leaving just 2 spaces remaining. Okay, of course you have to be able to sell to them who this is for, who this isn't for, all of those great things that build a great offer post. But by putting that out there and using the authentic numbers that 6 spaces of 8 spaces are now gone, this now brings a lot of urgency and scarcity to the table for people to immediately take action. And there's many different steps you can do after that social media post, sharing it into your stories, the next day sharing proof, and then resharing it into your stories, asking clients to share it, many different things, doors closing posts. There's loads of different things that we do inside the private coaching for this type of offer sequence, and coaches, even coaches who are doing over 500k a year, are still actively using these at least once every 6 weeks, because we have systems in which they're always filling the pipeline and always have new people to hit with these super spike offers, especially in this staggered launch approach. And as you can see, the really cool thing here is getting to that 10k a month. You didn't need thousands of followers to make that happen. And second of all, this is a 3-step process of maximization. Not necessarily do you actually need every single step here. You could easily have hit that target through step 1. You might have hit the target solely through step 2, or you might have hit the target solely by step 3. But the interesting thing is, with any type of offer like this, you want opportunity. You want multiple opportunities to make the sales, because with different offers, different people are going to have different reactions to it. So you want multiple opportunities for people to say the word yes and become a coaching client. But I want to quickly bring you to probably the most important part here, which is step number 4, which is how you actually keep this going. Because most coaches think that they want a plan to get to 10k a month, but then how do you maintain that? How do you continuously hit 10k plus per month? And that is building repeatable, profitable, and scalable systems. The type of stuff that we were talking about there, that was not a one-off. This is not just a launch plan. Like I said, this could be used by a coach who's already doing 7k a month. Inside the 90-day ads and funnels mastermind, we build out the type of system that we were talking about there: live masterclass, 5-day free challenge, paid challenge, application funnels, whatever that repeatable, scalable system is and is perfect for that coach that we're working with. we help them build it in a way in which they can engage hundreds of leads every single month with ads that they can literally turn on and off like a tap. If we wanted to be able to do this type of plan right here that we're talking about, where we have thousands, hundreds of people come through every single month with even just 1 week of advertising and less than £1,000 of ad spend to make that happen, we can, number one, have the opportunity to sell in private to 300 to 500 people every single month. What happens after that? Those 300 to 500 people join the email list. They start to follow you on social media. They're also people that you know where they are. And if you've got any type of lead tracking system, we've got something called never ending leads inside the private coaching. If you've got some sort of tracking system, it means that at any point in the future, when you go into step 2 and step 3, you can reach out to them. So what would happen if we were to make this hyper scalable and hyper repeatable? A coach would come to us and they would be perfect for, let's say, a 5-day free challenge. Okay, so 5-day free challenge is perfect for their offer, for their price point, for their niche, and even them as a coach. Okay, in that scenario, even if they only wanted to run this once per month, right? Simon, for instance, he's got a coaching business that's just closing in on $500,000 a year in the mindset space. He runs 2 to 3 challenges per month because they're, like he says, so simple. He just turns his ads back on. That's it. He doesn't have to do many changes. He says, sends me an ad review once a week and we make any tiny tweaks to the ads. But he gets somewhere in the region of 300 to 500 people into every single challenge that he actually runs. Okay, which means that he's going to have somewhere in the region of 600 at the bottom end to, if he does 3, 1,500 on the top end, joining his challenges every single month. He's wildly profitable from it, as you can tell by where his revenue is inside his coaching business. But guess what? He has that opportunity. He always makes a ton of sales through every single 5-day challenge that he does using our challenge system. But simultaneously, he then gets to do step 2, which is selling in private. So he goes to everybody who was in last month's challenges and gives them that window of opportunity to get their hands on his next super spike offer before the public. Okay, and then guess what? He gets to go to step 3, which is to publicly do an offer, which is potentially going out to 1,500 new warm prospects that were not there the month prior. Okay, and the fact that me and Simon have been working together for somewhere in the region of probably 6-7 months now, and we've been doing these consistently, he's got tens of thousands of new people there, followers and email lists that are now seeing his offers, which is allowing him not just to scale quickly, but actually scale consistently at such a high level. And so if this has been helpful to you, as always, if you hit the subscribe button, the like button, and comment down below, or whatever you do to help the YouTube algorithm, that would be absolutely tremendous. But if you're really interested in actually building out these repeatable, profitable, and scalable systems, you have 2 choices. You can come and join us in our full private coaching mastermind and work with us for 12 months. Or indeed, if you want a lower barrier to entry and you want that hyper repeatable, hyper scalable ad system installed into your business in the space of a couple of weeks, up and running with your first leads coming in, then come and join us in the next 90-day ads and funnels mastermind. I'll put a link down below so you can go through, find all the details on it in a 4-minute walkthrough video. And if you're interested, apply on the other side. It's an absolute steal and a complete game changer for any coach that doesn't just want to get to 10K months, but is interested in getting to 20, 30, 40, 50K plus months inside their coaching business. And finally, as always, thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next episode.